This way? I ain't trying to be this way. How do I fix this? I want the camera to be landscape mode or sideways, but hey, welcome. Real quickly, and maybe I'll just leave it like this because I can't figure this out right now. I'm pumping gas, getting some fuel, spending way too much money, getting 20 gallons. Here we are. Perfect. All right. So I'm at Sheets in Evansburg, PA, which is not quite the middle of nowhere, but it'll suffice for now. Where did I put my gas cap? Uh-oh. Hey, we're good. My gas cap's missing now, of all things. But anyway, here's the instructions for you guys. If you're going to follow along as I make this trip out back to Lewisburg tonight, the instructions, as I'm about a minute and 12 seconds into this, is leave me comments of topics you want to talk about, things we want to discuss on this trip, but just know that I'm not going to reply to them necessarily immediately while I'm driving. So I'll let questions and comments pile up and accrue until I can pull over, maybe make another break at another Sheets or something on the trip, and then I'll kind of see what's up and respond when I get back in my seat and drive again. So we'll see how many times we'll do that and see if you guys will actually jump on here and help me stay awake with the power of y'all's involvement and a couple ounces of C4 in my blood. Maybe I'll make it tonight. So that's the plan. I'm just going to keep this rolling. So why not? See what happens. You guys want to come into Sheets with me real quick? I'm already paid for the gas, but I need to get some snacks and refreshments, including a cup of ice for my C4. So that's the game plan. We're going to keep, we're going to keep this running. Or not. So keep this going for you guys. If I'm at Sheets or I'm coming inside to get something, actually, that's a great time for you to comment and I can respond immediately. Need money to pay for this stuff, right? Let me get some cash money out. And card as well. There we go. All right. Well, at the current status, I'm talking to myself right now. We're gonna give this some time, order some food or something in here, and then you guys can gather around the fire, so to say. Welcome to Sheets. Why the Sheets not? All right. I already packed C4s for the trip, so I don't need any from back here. But I do need some ice water. Pretty wild. It's been so freezing cold lately. And then the weather just broke and got all nice. I'm in a t-shirt in January in Pennsylvania. Global warming for better or for worse. Here we go. I'm staring at the camera. I'm actually looking at, see who's on board right now. Currently nobody. So don't mind me. All right. C4 is always best on ice. Just for the record, just so y'all know. Yeah. All right, what are we snacking on? I wonder if I can spin this. You know I can. Here we go. All right. And all this stuff looks kind of brutal. Yeah, I need more time. Shoot. Let me get some poppers. All right. I don't even want any sauce, really. Throw that on there. Oops, I kind of goofed. Thought I was getting an appetizer. Oops. Sampler, that's what I'm looking for. There we go. Mix that up with a few of these bad boys. Maybe some of those. And there we go. Perfect. Man, it's freaking loud in this sheets here. That's how we roll, I guess. How you doing? A cup of ice over here. And that guy. Thank you. Actually, I do, and it's on my phone, and I'm live right now, so I'm not even worried about it, unless you got a courtesy card.
No, unfortunately, I won't let you.
All right, no problem. Thank you. Thank you, sir. All right. I'm just waiting on the goodies. Hey, we already got the fuel. For those that don't know, the Suburban is 315,000 miles plus. Before I hit the open road on the vast highway system of PA, bear with me, I'm going to check my fluids, particularly antifreeze. Because that's good, even if it is not in dire need. If it gets a little low, it first affects my heat inside the cabin, so I want to make sure my heat's good. So where is everybody on this late night Thursday? If you're not on here, you're probably doing something amazing. If you ever do make it over to this video or this channel, leave me some comments. I'll probably, as I'm driving, and have this on between me humming to myself and talking to myself. If you're on board and you want to leave a comment, remember, I can't reply to it necessarily because I'm not trying to read my phone and drive. But I'll make occasional stops to check my phone, check the status, see if anybody's commenting on there. Hey, it looks like we got somebody on board. Welcome. I'm kind of just breaking down the road rules for those watching the live feed as I wait for some junk food at Sheetz here in Evansburg, PA. So, welcome. Hey, who do we got? Spaghetti Wizard. Man, I can't read this. Hello from Virginia. Hey, I appreciate you jumping on board here. So here's the road rules for this impromptu live that I just kind of threw together. As I'm driving, I'll be just chit-chatting, talking mushrooms, music, and all kinds of bull crap. And I can't really reply to you guys in your comments, but I welcome them. Leave comments as we're driving here so that when I do make a stop, I can read the comments, and that'll give me more talking points and topics to discuss. This road trip's about 2.5 hours from here as I head back to Susquehanna Valley, Lewisburg area, Bucknell University, meeting up with one of my great friends and colleagues of this foraging and mushroom life, and that's my dude Will. If you've been on my channel for any length of time, he's been featured in many videos. We've done a lot of lab work together, growing mushrooms. So he's my brother from another mother, my bee fam, and I'm going to see him for the day. But to help me stay awake, to help me pull a late night road trip, I need y'all's help. So thank you for jumping on board. Stay with me as long as you can. If you're a beast and can pull a 2.5 hour watch time with me as I'm just rambling, more power to you. So, waiting on my goodies here. For those that don't know, I'm a huge fan of C4. They're still not sponsoring me yet, which is a travesty. But I have to drink my C4 on ice. So I had to get a cup of ice water. And as soon as my appetizer's up, I'll check my antifreeze levels. We'll hit the road here. Lot of crazy things we can talk about, especially now that I'm out here in the middle of nowhere, PA, starting a mushroom grow. So we've been building steamer barrels and foggers and setting up a room, but we haven't grown a single mushroom yet. But definitely want to talk about it. I want to talk about what's the buzz in culinary mushrooms out there. Everybody's talking lion's mane, but I don't know if that's necessarily the buzz or if it's going to stay there. You also got cordyceps. That's a big one right now too. So I want to talk about some of these awesome species that are being propagated, commercialized. So hey, I can answer comments now because I'm not driving yet. Ever tried chicken of the woods? I found chicken of the woods, foraged for it many times. I've got an old video on my channel. If you did a deep dive through the archives of Mr. Jeff's YouTube channel, one of my early vlogs, actually one of my better vlog episodes, where I actually did a chicken of the woods cook with some friends in their house, and we battered and fried them up like chicken nuggets with different dipping sauces. Chicken of the woods is a classic though. Love that one. Latiparus sulphureus, I guess, or cincinnatus, depending on what actual species, because chicken of the woods, for those that don't know, it's kind of like a species complex. There's a few of them. I think they may have gotten it down to like 5 different species that are colloquially known as chicken of the woods. And we've got like 2 or 3 of them here in PA. So, all right, time to go. Time to check the antifreeze situation out. Can't believe I'm in a t-shirt as it's drizzling on me out here in like 50-some degree weather. Late night PA, January. It's the end of the world as we know it. All right, getting in the ugly Suburban. All right, setting this up here. Oops. There we go. All right. Get your questions and comments in soon because I'm going to have to drive soon. Before I check the antifreeze, what do we got here? You going hunting tomorrow? I know it's supposed to be warm. Actually, so talking to Will, we've been trying to plan this out. We may break for lunch during our day because I'm going to be doing a work day with him, but maybe take a lunch break or something. But our mutual friend Gabor, I don't know if you've been keen to everybody who's been on my channel in the past. Gabor, met him out in the middle of nowhere, PA, out in the woods. You know, he come up to my car or come up to the truck and asked me if I was mushroom hunting. How are you going to ask me if I'm mushroom hunting? Of course I'm mushroom hunting. Like, he didn't know who I was, though. He didn't realize it was Mr. Jeff that he was meeting, and I didn't realize I was meeting an amazing individual as well. Gabor formerly had performed down in Orlando, and I think for Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey. Like, he's a acrobat. So I've had him on my channel many times. He's been my cameraman a few times. So we're trying to see if he'll link up with us tomorrow and the 3 of us get together and hit the woods, even if it's just for, an hour. This is a time of year where mushroom hunting comes few and far between. So chances that we get out in the woods, and even if it's kind of scouting for for spots in the future for spring, summer, and fall mushrooms that are going to come. You know, we may not find anything viable or you know, prime, but it's still enjoyable to get out there. So yeah, I just said all that to say yes, we'll try to get out in the woods tomorrow and do a little bit of hunting, but no promises on what we'll find. Maybe we'll find some birch polypore, some turkey tail. Rare chance we might even find some velvet feet, depending on what part of the woods we go to, because these mountains out here in PA have like there's neighborhoods of fungi. There's areas in the same mountain might have over in this one area a bunch of birch with birch polypore. Another area might have these older birch with chaga, and then we'll also find groves of maple and elm with oak intermingled. So it's just got to know what parts to go to, and depending on where we go tomorrow will definitely dictate heavily of what kind of mushroom species we find. So hey, I say a lot. All right, what else do we got going on here? All right, so for now I'm caught up on comments. Thank you for sticking around. I'm going to pop the hood and check on my things. Bear with me, guys. Be right back. All right, we're back. And you know what I never found was the cap to my gas. Found it. There we go. Hey, we're in business now. All right. We got the appetizer. I'm going to be eating in front of you guys. No offense. All right, so once again, I'll explain the rules. I'll probably explain them every few minutes just to keep you guys, any newcomers and visitors, up to speed about what I'm doing here. So I'll drive a bit. I'll read comments at moments where I can pause to look at my phone. And then I'll discuss some more. So it'll be a lot of mostly monologue with the ability to dialogue with y'all when I pull over. So get my first little nugget in. All right, crack open a C4. I'm feeling good about this trip, but what I'm not feeling good about is the heat. So it was low on antifreeze. And there we go. Now I feel some heat kicking in. Pretty wild that my heater is an indicator of my coolant levels being low. So it's kind of a safety feature, I guess. All right. Today's live episode of Mr. Jeff, sponsored by C4. Unofficially sponsored by C4 Strawberry Watermelon Ice. Unofficial, because I'm not trying to get in trouble. They might say we don't want to sponsor that idiot. Wow, what do we got here, man? So I do appreciate the comments. This is not my complaint against comments. It's just I can't see these comments because they're so tiny. So I got to get way up close to the phone to read the screen. I need a co-pilot. I need like somebody who can hold the phone, read these comments out loud, and then I can respond. So let me see if I can get caught up before I put this truck into gear. 315,000 miles plus. Just had to say that again. This is crazy. Anyway. Heat turns on when it's low. No, so, I mean, I got the heat running because I want it to be warm in my cab. But if the antifreeze gets low, there's not enough antifreeze circulating through the heater core, which blows the heat into here. And therefore, I'll just have like cold air blowing in. So that cold air is kind of like a canary in the mine shaft. I'll get cold air blowing before it's actually detrimentally low, where the engine's not getting heat pulled off, and the engine will overheat. But before the engine overheats, the heat gets cold, if that makes any sense. So, I mean, I also have a low coolant light that does appear, but I don't trust the lights on this dash that often. So 315,000 plus, remember. Shoot, sometimes the actual odometer that tells me 315 plus, sometimes the numbers on it are glitchy or they don't even show up right. So there might come a time when this thing's running and yet I can't even read the gauges on the dash. That's what I'm saying. This thing's an old beast, 2001 Suburban, 315,000 plus miles. Jalapeno popper, cheers. Next comment, here we go. Man, I might not make it till morning if I'm going to sit here and read comments, but that would be awesome. I don't care. If I just sat at Sheets for an hour just talking and doing YouTube live, that would be pretty badass, but all right. I got my C4 on ice. Shoot, I'm going to be buzzing like a bee. All right, last comment. Let's see if I can get this one in. Man, I can't read. Never tried C4. Is it any good? Spaghetti Wizard, which I'd refer to you by your real name, but I don't know your real name. And you don't even have to reveal it. But I am curious if I've met you in person, whether it's at Mycofest or any kind of event or something outside of YouTube. If I know you outside of YouTube, let me know. But no, C4 is amazing. So I've been on C4. Tell you what, let's hit the road. I got a full tank of gas. My heat's good. Oil pressure's good. Voltage good. Anyway, where was I? Oh, C4. All right, I got to drive through Ebensburg like another mile or two to get onto the highway. So don't mind. But once we get on the highway, I may not have actual lights hitting my face. So I may have to turn on a cabin light in here. So bear with me a little bit as I get all my things set for this trip. So once I'm on the highway, it's like no turning back, and I got to make sure I'm good to go here. Driving through town is a nice test run on making sure this truck can handle it. So I don't drive this truck much anymore like I used to. If you followed me from the past, I used to DoorDash a lot, and I used to go to the mountains daily. town. So I was like putting hundreds of miles a week. 1,000 miles in a week would have been nothing, actually. That would have been kind of normal. But anyway, C4s. I've been drinking C4 since my last time in Michigan, maybe like 2019, 2018. Shoot, what year was that? 2019. I'm pretty sure I'm talking 2019 because COVID was 2020. Okay, I can't see my signs here. Which way am I going? We're going this way. Whoops. Better keep going the right way. Okay, my lights are off. Hey, there we go. So, bear with me. It's hard to see. We got a lot of fog, too. That's why I'm not trying to read comments till I pull over. All right. What was I saying? I'm talking C4s, guys. I was drinking C4s because I was working midnights for Home Depot. Pulling some almost midnights. They were like the late night unloading the truck shift. I had just relocated, moved back up north from Texas, transferred from Home Depot down there to get back up north, and they didn't have my position available, but I was trying to get back up north, so I said, screw it, I'm taking the job, even if I gotta, work a crappy shift, unloading truck. And those people that work the night shifts doing the trucks, they're the beasts that keep that store running. There'd be nothing on the shelves if it wasn't for those guys. Shout out to those Kyle, Lisa, Dan. Shoot, the rest of them I don't remember the name. Sorry, guys, but that truck crew at Home Depot in Fort Gratiot, Michigan. Appreciate you guys. But I was drinking C4, the powder scoop, like little. Similar to this, like a canister type thing. That's beetroot powder I just flashed at you guys. But C4 comes in a powder like that too. A pre-workout is what it is. It's basically caffeine plus. They give you vasodilators in there and stuff like citrulline, malate, betaine, which is beetroot extract, arginine. Actually, citrulline's better than arginine, but I digress. It has to do with metabolic pathways. If you consume arginine for the pump, unfortunately, much of it doesn't get converted properly through the pathway to produce or to release the nitric oxide in your blood vessels, endothelial walls, we'll say. Anyway. Citrulline converts to arginine upon digestion. Arginine gets converted to something else, so it doesn't have as much bioavailability to do the job at hand. Anyway, that's not even what it's about. C4 tastes amazing. C4 gives you all the things you'd want from a pre-workout type thing, a caffeine plus drink with the amazing flavor. None of the bullcrap fillers that you get from other energy drinks because it's a pre-workout. It's not so much an energy drink. Why, Mr. Jeff, would you drink a pre-workout instead of an energy drink? Well, if I'm going to increase my blood pressure with caffeine, I should try to balance it out with vasodilation, allowing the blood vessels to be more elastic and expand. So I'm not blowing my blood vessels out with the high blood pressure of the caffeine, right? I mean, it's all theoretical. But that's kind of why I choose it. Hey, do I still got somebody on here? I do. So I guess I'm not talking to myself. If anybody's got any feedback about energy drinks they want to give me, I'm all ears. Here's something for you. So I used to drink mud water. I still have some, but I'm not actively drinking it regularly. Not that I'm anti-mud water. It's not bad. It's not the most amazing flavored thing. But I think they're onto something, and I think improvements will be made as as the mushroom market develops. So I bring up mud water because it's kind of like people's fungal alternative to drinking coffee or caffeine. I'm not anti-caffeine. I enjoy caffeine. I think caffeine works for certain people if they figure out the balance, figure out how to use it. You want to be careful of using it late at night, unless, like tonight, I'm pulling a late night. And truth be told, I'm probably not going to drink this whole thing. I put it on ice to cut back on the fizziness a little bit, because it is carbonated. But the ice will also melt a little bit and dilute it with some more water. But if you're drinking, hiccups, that's that vagus nerve overacting from the caffeine. Excuse me. Ooh. So I drink more. Anyway, I like to sip on my C4s. I drink 2 a day, which is 400 milligrams of caffeine. I don't have my first C4 though, at least until I'm already awake. I don't use the C4 to wake up per se. I do drink water when I wake up, but I do crack a C4, sometime between breakfast and lunch. I sip on it. I don't slam it. And then I might have another one mid-afternoon before 4. This one I'll probably drink half of it, so it'll be about 100. It'll be like a strong cup of coffee, get me through this night drive. And then the other half I'll drink in the morning. So kind of like I'm splitting a can between days. So for today and tomorrow, we got 2.5 cans digested coming up. But yeah, I am a fan of C4 because it works. It's not as brutal on the system as like straight up energy drinks out there. If you read the ingredients list, it's kind of wholesome, I guess, for an energy drink, for a pre-workout type drink. Yeah, I've been on C4 for years now and enjoy them. I think they work and they taste amazing. And with the flavors that came out a couple of years ago, the Starburst flavors and the Skittles, yeah. When are they going to sponsor me, though? Pennsylvania's favorite rockstar mushroom hunter, sponsored by C4. Shoot. So this would be a great idea. I might have to implement this in 2024. So I wanted to do a once a week, kind of like a late night talk show. Not so much a podcast, but like where I have callers call in and we talk mushrooms, we talk Mr. Jeff, we talk music and foraging, we talk weird things, we just talk about life, but have it be a once a week nighttime event reminiscent of the old school radio shows that you can call in late night. Little bit of music, little bit of mayhem, a whole lot of mushroom talk. And I'm wanting to do something like that. But that could be something where it could be like the show could be sponsored by C4. Or maybe C4 could team up with my ass and we could come up with a C4 mushroom energy drink that has all the active ingredients that I want in my C4 plus. Maybe they cut back on the caffeine and they put some cordyceps, some cordycepin in there. Maybe they throw in some adaptogenic mushrooms. Crazy. But a fun guy can dream, can't I? A mushroom C4, maybe a couple years. I'd definitely ask them to keep the cherry limeade if they're going to have a Mr. Jeff lineup. Cherry limeade's one of my favorites, but shoot, if you guys do get out much and see the C4 flavors, they don't have twisted limeade, or not twisted limeade. So cherry limeade is one of my current favorite flavors, but twisted limeade I cannot find anywhere. And it's almost like their knockoff Mountain Dew. It's got a Mountain Dew-esque flavor to it. So I really was a fan of that back in the day, but I can't find that one anymore. Twisted Limeade. So I settled for cherry limeade, strawberry watermelon ice, Starburst flavors, all 4 of them, and Skittles. And I enjoy a midnight cherry from time to time. But yeah, I am a connoisseur of the C4 flavors, guys. You just don't know it. Speaking of going back to the cordyceps mushroom, and it's raining pretty good right now, so I hope you guys can hear me okay. This is getting relentless. But the fog's cleared up. I can see good. Anyway, cordycepin, the cordyceps fungus, that's kind of like, I feel like that's going to be the hot topic mushroom of 2024. And if it's not, it's going to be up there. Cordyceps, the fungus that inspired the show, the video game, and the TV show The Last of Us. I haven't seen it, haven't played it yet. But it's the idea of a fungus taking over humans and kind of being a puppet master, controlling them or turning them into like zombies. So while that's fantasy, the real thing, the real scoop of cordyceps is that it's shown to actually be a performance-enhancing drug type supplement. Athletes are using it. I believe China, Chinese Olympic team had been using cordyceps. And this is legal, you know, it's not banned. It's a mushroom. It's a mushroom that produces a compound inside it, though, that acts very similarly to the adenosine molecule in our bodies. Adenosine is a compound which, when combined with other atoms, forms adenosine diphosphate, adenosine triphosphate. Adenosine triphosphate, also known as ATP, is nicknamed that's the energy source for the mitochondria, the power plants of the cell. So it is, in essence, the power. It's the power for your cells. Intercellular power comes through ATP primarily, broken down into ADP, diphosphate version of adenosine. So cordycepin, the active compound in cordyceps, can act similarly to the adenosine molecule, not in the sense of ATP production that I'm aware of, although maybe, I don't know. But adenosine also is a neurotransmitter. Adenosine can tell our bodies that we're tired. Adenosine accumulates in our blood as we stay awake. Like right now, the adenosine in my body is at higher levels because it's nighttime. I've been up all day, so I'm going to be yawning. I'm going to be prone to sleepiness thanks to adenosine, and it's doing its job. Now I'm drinking caffeine to block adenosine. Caffeine works on the adenosine receptor, but it blocks adenosine from binding to it, preventing me from feeling sleepy. But when the caffeine wears off, those adenosine receptors are going to be waiting for all that adenosine that's been piled up all night, and then it's just going to hit me harder, so I'll have a crash when the caffeine wears off. But anyway, cordycepin, the reason because of its correlation to the adenosine molecule. I'm intrigued. Cordyceps fungus. Check them out. That's immoral, spelled like morel mushrooms, but I'm sorry, IMMOREL. Immoral, I suppose. Immoral. But yeah. Cordyceps. That's gonna be like the buzzword in fungus. because people already know about lion's mane, shiitake. I mean, psilocybin mushrooms, your magic mushrooms have been getting a lot of buzz too. But cordyceps, I'm telling you, that's where it's going to be at this year coming up. And if not, then I'll have to make it that one. Now, other people are already out there giving cordyceps a name. William Padilla Brown wrote the book on cultivating cordyceps. So, you know, he's got a lot to say, and he'll continue to say more about it as the year progresses. He grows and sells cordyceps. He produces it in large quantities, and even I think he farms it out, so to say, or has other farmers growing it too for him. Okay, I got more fog coming back, so I may have to slow down my speed so I can see the lines on the road. I don't mind going 55. Probably going to pull over here, though, at the next sheets so I can get on any comments. So get your comments in, guys. Looks like I got one person, so... Or is that one person me? What if I'm the one person that says it's actually on here? Do I count? I don't know. But if somebody's out there and they're on there following me, get your comments ready, get your questions in. We'll talk more mushrooms. Haven't talked music much. That's all right. I got lots of time here. Got my heat blowing. For those that don't know, I reach up behind my head every now and again like this to feel the heat, because the heat at dash level is not working. That hasn't worked in a while. So I have reverse heat that blows from the back of the cabin forward. And every now and again I stick my hand back there to get some warmth on my hands, test out the heat circulation back here. Definitely is pretty warm back here. But the current temperature outside is 41 degrees, so I do have some residual cold air that creeps in through the front vents. All right. Thank you for sticking around. If somebody is still on board, or it looks like maybe I got a new face joining me, I can't tell. The numbers are so small. It looks like I got one, but maybe that's a two. Two people on board. So just a few more minutes and I'll check the feedback, the comments, and the questions, and we'll have some more discussion coming up. Maybe in the meantime, I'll sing a song or something. Shoot, if you're new to my channel, did you know I got actual music on my channel from like a couple of years ago? Man, do I have a story to tell? I became Mr. Jeff the Mushroom Dude heavily because of COVID, but because of my personal life and the way things had gone with my life. I ended up spending a lot of time out in the woods in early 2020, learning my land. Shout out to Adam Harriton of Learn Your Land on YouTube. Definitely inspiring. And I call myself Pennsylvania's favorite rock star mushroom hunter. Dude, that guy he is the quintessential Pennsylvania's rock star mushroom hunter, because he was also in a heavy metal band. I don't know if he still is, but shout out to Adam Harriton. Go subscribe to his channel. That being said, I've got songs on my channel from way back. One of them, actually a couple of them I'd love to turn into a music video. But I got one called Burn Run. So I went on a burn run all morning and then some. Couldn't wait to hit the open road. As I'm taking it all in, the feelings from within are overflooding my soul. Never before and never again will I see the clouds painted just like this. Go on and burn, run. Much better with music. And that's why I'd like to actually do a real music video to that song, because I wrote that song Would have been the end of 2020, or no, it might have been the beginning of 2021. Coming out of that first year of COVID, broke as a joke, behind on bills. I received not a single dime of, what do they call that? The checks they were handing out. I almost said surplus. No, the stimulus money they were handing out in 2020. I didn't get any of that. I did not get unemployment, except for one check. I did get one check of unemployment 1 week. But I missed like 2 months of unemployment and then not a single stimulus check. So money got tight that year. Shoot. Is this where I get off? I'm looking for a sheet, so I'm getting off right here. We'll get back on the next one. Or I may have made a wrong turn. I don't even know if this is an actual proper exit. But I'm okay with that. We'll figure something out. I'm just driving. But anyway, what was I saying? Shoot. Talking Burn Run. So I wrote Burn Run like maybe January or February 2021. It's on my YouTube channel. If you go back to the earliest videos, you'll see a video of me. I think I was wearing a beanie. It's cold in my house. I had no heat. I warmed my house up. I was living in a house. I was renting a whole house, a 3-bedroom house. Shoot, I may have gotten off at the wrong exit, guys. So bear with me here a little bit as I figure this out. Yeah, okay. Got to turn around here. That was not that. It was the one exit I didn't want to take. All the exits in Altoona would have got me to a Sheetz. This one didn't. So, whoops. I think I see a Sheetz up here, though. Maybe I spoke too soon. I see something. I can't tell where I'm at yet. So anyway, wrote this song Burn Run in my state of poverty, just having fun. But that was a tough year. That was a tough year for a lot of folks. You guys could probably all relate. All right, this is not a Sheetz. It's a Rudders. Whatever a Rudders is. Truck stop. All right, I'm going to pull over here, turn back around, get back on track. But first, I got to answer some questions from y'all. I'm in a full-blown like truck rest stop because there's semis everywhere. Okay, I'm in the wrong parts. Here we go. All right. I just want to park for a second so I can get my bearings back. Cars only, please. No vans or trucks. Whoops. Forgive me. Okay, hey. Stop for a minute. Let me read the phone. Let's get caught up on some comments here. All right. All right. Shoot. Oh, Spaghetti Wizard. All right. Name's John. You've never met me, but I'm Bridget's brother. Hey, shout out to Bridget. Enjoyed working with her at Chipotle. She did kick ass. As a matter of fact, if I could just be candid or just say this off the cuff, at least while I was there, they didn't do enough for her. So she could be managing a Chipotle. Just saying. But by the way, your Millie remix is the greatest song ever. We listen to it all the time. I'm glad you enjoy that. Oh man. So that was back in the DoorDash days when I'd be driving around Lewisburg, mushroom hunting when I can and DoorDashing between. I was just inspired to write write some lyrics to it. So if you can imagine, headphones on, driving around town, listening to the original song, so I could actually, memorize the cadence, the rhythm, the voice inflection, so I could parody it very, similar to like Weird Al, right? I wanted it to be spot on, so it had that flow that sounded like, wow, he actually tried to copy it. And that was what I was going for. But once I started writing it, it's like I was singing along to it, but then like words would come to me that fit me, that was mushroom hunter oriented, or had to do with fungi and this and that, or growing mushrooms. And I'm like, man, I was just kept capturing one line after another out of my mind. Write it down. And within like 20 minutes, I had half of that thing written. The other half of the song, like the second half of the second verse and the third verse, came to me within a couple more days of writing. But literally, it's like within 20 minutes, I had the first half of it done. And I was like inspired by how easy it came to me, that maybe I should play around with more things like this. So I have dabbled with more parody and even original work, but I love music. I've been involved with music my whole life, from choir as a kid in school to church choir to guitar. So now I enjoy music, and I try to incorporate music into my daily life, whether it's just singing songs or humming tunes. So there you go. We got a new person joining, it looks like. So welcome. Man, I'm 51 minutes into this, and you guys who come along for this journey, I appreciate you guys. I just pulled over so I could read comments and get caught up. I'm going to get back on the road, but this is your chance now if you want to get a comment or two in. So right now I am caught up on all the comments. All the comments are from you, John. I appreciate you tagging along on this road trip with me, even though I don't have you actually getting to converse with me regularly because I got to drive. Yeah, what else can I say before we get going here? By the way, your Millie remix is the greatest song ever. Man, I guess I'm flattered because it was me goofing around. It was me just goofing around, but maybe if I'll say this. So I've been heavily focused on getting this mushroom grow room set up so I can be going to market and selling mushrooms, working for Abundance Farms. So teaming up, living out on a farm in the middle of nowhere. This is a new chapter. But once this room is set up and we got mushrooms fruiting, I'll be able to, take a sigh of relief and be like, okay, I can focus on like some of my springtime foraging and maybe writing more music and this and that. But it's hard for me to take my brain off of what's in front of me. So I want to write more though. And hey, check this out. I almost forgot to mention, since we're talking about mushroom raps and mushroom music, a friend of mine, Parker, out of Pittsburgh, goes by the moniker Fungi. His YouTube channel is Fungi Flows. He's also on Instagram, Facebook, and other platforms. But tomorrow, he begins his 36-hour freestyle marathon. And you think that's crazy? That's just practice. We're talking about practice? Yes. That's just practice for his 48-hour event coming up next month, I believe. So if all goes well, we get our work done out here in Lewisburg tomorrow. He'll be in Pittsburgh doing his event, but it's 36 hours long. So even though I won't make it out Friday, I can come out there Saturday and join him. Maybe catch the tail end of the event and be there live with him. So I'm excited. This is going to be a crazy weekend. I'm going to be doing a lot of road tripping. Maybe I'll go live as I drive out there to his event. We hop on the YouTube again, or maybe I hop on Instagram. Not sure yet. Man, I haven't even been eating my snacks. Get another popper in. There we go. All right. There. Oh, one last comment coming in. What's my Instagram? Sorry. So my Instagram is Mr. Jeff, or @ Oh, Mr. Jeff. Like you're hollering for me or something. Oh, Mr. Jeff. So you spell it like this: OHMISTERJEFF, with that @ symbol at the beginning, of course. But Mr. Jeff. The idea behind that was like, it's like every time I try to go in the woods, because I'm talking back home in Lewisburg, actually the woods where I'm headed, heading up to the mountain, Buffalo Mountain. It's like every time I go on one of my excursions up to the mountain to go mushroom hunting, and I say this tongue in cheek, I'm not upset about people. I enjoy seeing people when I go out in the woods and mushroom hunting, but it's like you try to get out there alone and get some peace and quiet in your own therapy, go on a solo walk, and sure enough, someone would pull up. Oh, Mr. Jeff. Hey, Mr. Jeff. And I did it to myself, right? When you set yourself out to become Pennsylvania's favorite rock star mushroom hunter, then you're going to get people hollering your name out. That's just par for the course. So can't be upset about it. But I figured I might as well make my Instagram page, Oh, Mr. Jeff. So that's what it is. Even though my Facebook is just Mr. Jeff and my YouTube is just Mr. Jeff, Instagram got that one. And it may have had, I don't remember at the time, but it may have had something to do with the fact that Mr. Jeff was already taken. Because, fun fact, there are other Mr. Jeffs on this planet of 8+ billion people, including, speaking of music, there's a Mr. Jeff musician out of France. I found that out. You may know this if you're on YouTube. If you type in my name, Mr. Jeff, you'll find other Mr. Jeffs, including a French musician. So shout out to him. Excuse me. Possibilities are endless. Maybe I get sponsored by C4 with a mushroom lineup, mushroom energy drink. Maybe I do a collaborative music video with Mr. Jeff from France. I'm being silly, of course. All right, back on the road. I'm only a couple minutes off course, because the exit I took was only a couple minutes to get from there to here. We'll be back where I was, and I won't have to pull over again for a little while. Maybe I'll pull over as I get close to State College, find a sheet up that way. All right, on the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again. Oh, Willie Nelson. What do you guys know about Willie Nelson? Man, I was so close to seeing Willie Nelson down in Texas. Oh, this is what I want right here. So, I used to live in Texas for a couple years. Canyon Lake. It's a small town north of San Antonio. Kind of a touristy town in the summer and stuff, because it has a lake. The Army Corps of Engineers dammed up a river to form a lake. Dammed up the Guadalupe River, I think. Formed a lake, and that lake, it's like back in the 60s. They ended up burying a town, got submerged on purpose. Like they said, screw this town, we don't want this town anymore, we're going to create a lake for tourists, basically for those with money from San Antonio to come up and vacation without having to drive 3.5 hours to the coast, to Houston or wherever, or Corpus Christi. So Canyon Lake was formed. Actually, I'm on the right lane. Here we go. So I live down in Canyon Lake, but even though it's such a touristy town, it was a rough town too, because it's either you've got wealthy tourists or you've got a poorer class of folks that are running the town, that basically vendors and the businesses and the folks that work there. So the town itself doesn't have a lot going for it other than the tourist side of things. But one of the touristy things that they do have is the float down, where you can rent inner tubes and float down the Guadalupe River. And there's like a smaller concert venue along the riverside. And Willie Nelson goes there every year. That's like a thing he does. It's kind of his thing. Is that amongst all of his stops where he performs, he doesn't miss the float down spot. And I can't remember the name of it, but it's Canyon Lake. Or it might be Statler, more specifically. It's on Statler. But it's all, excuse me, it's the greater Canyon Lake area. And his float down was like, I think, or not his float down, but his concert is like lined up. They try to line it up with 420 weekend every year because it's Willie Nelson, right? Well, the year I wanted to go, I believe, was the year that he canceled because he was sick. And that was also the year, oh shoot, who else joined him regularly? Passed away. Was it Waylon Jennings? May have passed away that year. So didn't go and see him. Even though it would have been only 15, 20 minutes away from me. I enjoyed Texas, by the way. For those that don't know, I spent time down there. A couple years in Texas was a beautiful time. Learned a lot. Met a lot of good people. Anyway, feel free to leave comments. Any mushroom questions? If you want to pick my brain, you want to know my opinion on anything mushroom related, music related, I don't even care. I'm not big on the politics side of things. If you want to know my real opinions, it might offend you. That's why I don't want it to be a thing that I get involved in on my social media, is the politics side of things, because I appreciate humans. And I don't want something to cloud my connection with humans. I feel like politics gets in the way of humanity. It blocks us from being humans. So, that aside, mushrooms bring us together. So let's go mushroom hunting. And John in Virginia, if I make it down to Virginia sometime, mushroom hunting, maybe hosting as I pass through. Ideally, what would be really badass is if I could do a trip along the coast, where I do like a foray, a free mushroom hunting event where people can come out and join me. Do a couple in each state, all the way to Florida, where I do like an event on my way down and an event on my way up in each state. So I could catch different parts of the states that I go to as well. So I could be more coastal on the way down, more Appalachia on the way back up, or vice versa. I've met a lot of people, both online and in person at events, that live along the eastern coastline. And I'm like, man, it'd be so cool if I could actually hit up some of these places and reconnect with people too. So I kind of incorporate the hashtag, let's go mushroom hunting. When I post pictures of mushrooms I find, or when I'm out foraging, because I do want to go mushroom hunting with folks. I feel like mushroom hunting, foraging, just getting in the woods, but not going on a hike, not just like blazing through a hike like it's a workout. I'm talking the traipsing through the woods slowly, taking your sweet time, like a kid. Like, ooh, like James Woods on Family Guy. Ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy. Talking like that. When I'm in the woods, it's like, ooh, a mushroom. And I might spend a couple minutes playing around looking at it and checking it out. I'm in no hurry to get in the woods just to get out. So if you go mushroom hunting with me, it's an experience where I talk. I share insights and ideas and opinions, and I try to inspire and entertain and have a good time. But there's no rush to it. It's a great way to connect with folks. So just like I'm doing here, I know it's very monologue-ish because it's just me talking. But anybody that's gone mushroom hunting at one of my events in the past can attest that we have a good time. We don't always find all the mushrooms. A lot of times we come out finding garbage, like finding mushrooms that are rotten or old and dried out. But we had a good time. And that's what I enjoy about going mushroom hunting with folks. I've met a variety of people, all walks of life, and it's always a good time. Heck, last year, check this out. I hope to go mushroom hunting with him again. But I got to go mushroom hunting with, now my mind just drew a blank. Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia. What is his name? Hamilton Morris, sorry. Hamilton Morris of Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia, and like I think his YouTube channel, Hamilton Morris, you can go subscribe to him. But he's been a journalist covering drugs, can I say? He's been covering different scenes in drug culture, both illicit and legal, both natural and synthetic. Like, he calls it a pharmacopoeia, and that's a great, Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia, because it's so widespread on what he's covering. Medicinal, recreational, you name it, even spiritual uses of drugs and chemicals. But anyway, I'm just kind of giving an introduction of who Hamilton Morris is. I got to go on a mushroom hunt with him last summer. And it was a night hunt, UV hunting with Alan Rockefeller. Alan Rockefeller being, the mushroom hunter's mushroom hunter. Us mushroom hunters go to him for consultation and inspiration. So anyway, it was a big group hunt. There might have been like 15, 20 of us. I don't remember. But on the trail, it's a tight trail where it's like you might be walking 2 side by side, 10 deep, but spread out far enough where you may not even know what the people at the front of the line are talking about if you're in the back. Because there's many conversations occurring amongst people. And that's how it was with me and Hamilton. Because I'm like literally right next to him, shooting the shit with him, picking his brain, asking him questions and stuff. And it was a great moment for me because I had been watching his series and following his stuff on the internet. So to me, he was just this guy who was like up there that I was a fan of. And getting to interact with him on that level was pretty amazing, especially if you on my channel, I like to dabble with the mushroom chemistry, talking about compounds found in nature, and I read research papers, I read articles in PubMed, PubChem to help me understand what's actually going on the science end of things, to help me understand where are we going with these these mushrooms? Where are we going with them as a science and medicine field? So I read up on these things. And a lot of times I read about things and it's like, whew, I don't know what they're talking about. So I got a deep dive. I have to self-educate myself so I can read the article and understand what it says. And because I'm not trying to be caught slipping, a lot of times, and this is just a thing I do, is if I want to teach about something, if I want to explain something to you, I want to be at least a couple like, I want to be a couple levels deeper than what I'm trying to teach, at least a couple levels, because if I get questions, I want to be able to answer them. And I don't know where these questions might come from. So I want to make sure that I've got answers to questions that you guys don't even know exist. So that's why I go a little geeky and deep dive into the mushroom chemistry, even though my audience may not necessarily appreciate the level I go to. It's because I'm not trying to be caught slipping with my mushroom knowledge. And I want to know about this stuff. So I read this stuff and I learn about this stuff for me primarily, but then I want to pass it along because I'm an advocate, because I like to showcase these things to you. And if I can entertain and inspire and educate all at once, maybe someone will rise up from watching my channel, from following me, from going on mushroom hunts with me, and say, I want to do something like that, but they take it to greater heights. If other people will turn out to be way more amazing than me, then I did what I came for. I came to inspire, came to educate, and I came to entertain. So, I'm not even going to attempt to read. I know there's another comment here I can't really read right now. But I've got an exit coming up. So, if I got an exit coming up, I'll probably stop, read, chat for a minute. I don't mind the stop and go on a road trip because it's not like I've got anybody behind me saying, are we there yet? So it don't bother me none at all if I stop 5 times and take my sweet time getting where I'm going. It's all good. All right. I'm just glad I get to interact. And this, even if this is just delusional Mr. Jeff talking to himself all night long, at least it gave me something to help me stay awake and keep my attention. You know, because I get that white line fever, baby. I might do this. I don't even know if I'm turning the right way to get to Sheets or any place. Okay, I can actually pull over here pretty soon. I think. It ain't a gas station. It looks like it's a hotel. But it'd give me a chance to read the comment or comments. Oh, shoot. What do we got going on here? Yeah. All right. Just hard to see the driveway. All right. Long driveway to get up to this hotel because it's up on a little hill. All right. It's going to give me a chance, though, to be non-suspiciously sitting in my truck for a couple minutes while talking to you guys, and then I'll just leave like I pulled into the wrong place. Works for me. And that noise you hear, that's my faulty heating and cooling of this truck. There's a blower motor fan under my dash that's acting up. All right. Oh, what do we got going on here? Would definitely be cool to do that mushroom hunting along the whole East Coast for sure. And if I can get upgraded to a better Suburban, you know, I've been dreaming of a black and yellow Suburban, you know, that would fit my Pittsburgh or my Pennsylvania theme. I feel like black and yellow would be the colors. A black Suburban, yellow rims. That's wild, but I'm wild. And these mushrooms I hunt for are wild, so the truck's got to be wild. But a black and yellow Suburban come cruising down the East Coast with the Mr. Jeff logo on the window, taking pictures with folks, doing videos, maybe even doing like some YouTube shorts where I come up on people, asking them questions, asking them about mushrooms, just to kind of get a feel for what people are talking about and what people know about mushrooms. Maybe do some challenges for people with prizes involved. I don't know. Not sure where I want to take all this, but that's why I'm talking to you guys. That's why I put these thoughts out there into the ether so it can come back to me with the answers I'm looking for. This is a year that's going to be heavy on the mushroom growing. I mean, I took a job to grow mushrooms. But I want to take the foraging to another level with guys like Thomas Patterson, Wild Forager over on Instagram, good friend of mine. I want to be involved with his activities this year. Michael Fest and William Padilla Brown. I know he's out of Pennsylvania, and he may be relocating this year. But getting to be a part of Michael Fest and what it's been in Pennsylvania the past years that I've been involved has been amazing, and I want to be more involved this year. Maybe I'll be a speaker. I don't know if they'd want me as a speaker, but no, shoot, if I went to Michael Fest, I could talk about a lot of different things mushroom related, but the thing I think that I would be good to talk about, because it's unique to me, is my experience of how mushrooms have changed me, changed my life, and put me on the course that it's put me on. So that would be something interesting. Hey, it looks like I got more topic or another question on here. Sorry, I gotta look down at the screen. It's getting pretty late for me though. Probably gonna hop off soon. Hey brother, thanks for jumping on and keeping me awake and something to shoot the shiitake with for a good hour and 17 minutes on here. So appreciate you. Peace to you, but I'm staying on. And if anybody else comes across, it's all good. We're going to keep this going, and I'll talk to myself. So, hey, I see a couple more people jumped on. It looks like. Leave me a comment before I hit the road. I pull over every 15, 20 minutes if I can, just so I can look at the comments, just so I can comment back to you guys. So leave me some questions or topics that you want me to talk about while I'm just rambling. I'm trying to stay awake on a road trip as I drive back to Lewisburg. Got a little C4 on ice. I'm nursing this thing slowly because I don't want to drink the whole thing. But honestly, the energy and enthusiasm that comes out of me of talking this stuff with my audience here is like natural caffeine for me. So I appreciate you, John, for hanging out with me, chatting with me. Anybody else wants to get on there and talk, I'll give it a minute or two before I hit the road. Give me a snack here. Jalapeno popper. There we go. All right, got to give me a cheese curd bite. Perfect. All right. I actually think my heat works better. Yeah, my heat works better when the RPMs go up. I can feel a big difference. So I actually want to get driving again so I can get some heat blowing better. Not trying to put my coat on, but it's kind of cold out. It's like 42 degrees outside. And I have a leaky cabin. Cold air blows in slightly at the floor. And a little bit out of the dash. But that's only because I turned the defrost on. And the defrost does not blow heat. It only blows ambient air from outside, which is cold air. But I need something to keep the windows from steaming up in here. So I'm combating the coldness that's coming in with some heat that's blowing behind me because my front vents don't work. But that's the brakes when you got a truck with 315,000 plus miles. All right, one more cheese curd. Man, I'm an hour and 20 minutes into this. I feel so close to you right now. It's a force field. And there's no stopping us right now. I feel so close to you right now. All right, guys, let's back on the road. Let's talk mushrooms. So far in this edition of the live, we talked about cordyceps. I shared some of my insights on cordyceps. I actually have a video about cordyceps where I explore the show and the video game The Last of Us, if you've heard of it. I talk about it, and I talk about the reality of what we understand about the cordyceps fungus, particularly Ophiocordyceps sinensis. Or I actually forgot which one I talked about. I think I may have just talked about the regular Cordyceps militaris. I don't remember now. I'll have to go back and watch the video. But I do explain how an entomologist out of Penn State University, we're talking a professor who studies insects, he did a whole research paper on this fungus and how it infects ants, carpenter ants. And his study was very enlightening, explaining how it's not that the fungus actually, how do I say this? It doesn't operate, like it doesn't turn them into zombies. The ants still have their mental faculties. I don't know if ants have mental faculties, but it doesn't infect the brain. It actually avoids the nervous system of the ant while it's alive, which sounds counterintuitive. You think it was operating it like a joystick, like it's taking the ant's nervous system and using that to manipulate the ant to do its bidding, because it does control the ant's movements. We know this. It causes the ants to, when infected, it causes the ants to go to a place that is ideal for the fungus, not for the ant. It's not ideal for the ant, but solely for the fungus. The fungus takes advantage of it, and it uses the ant to take the fungus where it wants to go, so it can then release its spores at the most ideal spot. Like, this is ant horror. This is crazy. If ants had movies, they would make horror movies about this stuff, because this is like, that's wild. But anyway, it doesn't do all that by infecting the ant's nervous system or its brain or anything of that sort. It actually operates the muscles directly. Now, how is that possible? It's not even an animal. It's a different kingdom altogether. It's a different domain, I believe. Like, you have Animalia, you have Plant Kingdom, right? Then you have fungi. This weird group that's neither plant nor animal, but has these powers of interacting with plants or animals in ways that just blow our minds. The mycorrhizal relationships that many fungi have with plants has been studied, right? We know about that. But I'm talking about it's interacting with living insects, because they're still alive. When they're operating the ant's muscles, causing its muscles to contract and move, but not just sporadically or randomly. It's not like it's telling it to move its muscles like it's having a seizure, or, it's going spastic and its muscles are just clenching. No, the ant's muscles are operating like it's normal. like its legs are moving sequentially, like it's taking regular steps. How the heck is it doing that without going straight to the brain, to the nervous system that already has the muscle, the motor neurons, the pathways are already established through the brain? No, it's saying, screw that, we're going to operate it independently like a puppet master, operating the insect's muscles. Like, I'm blown away by this. I don't understand it, how it can do this, but that's what's fascinating about mushrooms, guys. And that's one species or one genera, one classification, these entomopathic fungi, the ones that eat or are pathogenic towards insects. Yes, they eat insects, but it's more than that. They're parasites that are doing some horrific things, operating their bodies independent of the nervous system of the insect. And then it hijacks the nervous system right at the very end. It doesn't take over the nervous system and kill the insect till the end. So that's why in the video I did about it, I don't call them the zombie fungus. Because when I think of a zombie, I think of it, being operated. Its nervous system is already infected. I guess that's getting into zombie theory though, right? And I'm not a zombie theorist, so I don't know. But in this case, leaving the nervous system intact, all I can go off of is what I know of my nervous system, that if I had something controlling my muscles, independent of me controlling them, so I'm no longer able to operate them, but something else is, but my nervous system, my brain is still intact and fully functioning, that'd be so terrifying. That would be like, you'd literally be aware of things happening to your body. Your body's doing stuff, and you can't do nothing about it. You're just observing and feeling and rationalizing all this in your mind, all the while this stuff happening. So, little blip there, a little interruption, I think, of the feed, but I think we're still live. Shoot, I am 1 hour 37 minutes into this. We're still driving along. Got some heat pumping out for me still. Good. Talking cordyceps fungus as I drive to Lewisburg to meet up with my dude Will. Eating jalapeno poppers, chicken tenders, and cheese curds as I talk cordyceps mushrooms with y'all. Helping me stay awake, helping keep you informed. Sorry, I gotta eat too. Bear with me. What wild weather we've been having out here in PA too, guys. Went from super freezing like a week ago, less than a week ago, to this. Sloppy, wet, all the snow and ice melting. Got so warm, caused so much humidity to rise from the melting snow and ice that it's been super foggy. Whiteout conditions. Could not see but feet in front of you. Thankfully, it's kind of subsided at this point where I can drive. It ain't so bad right now. I'm about halfway there though. Where, you may ask? We're going back to where this all started. The Mr. Jeff adventure started in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania. Going back to visit with my friend Will, help him out at his house, do some work with him, maybe go mushroom hunting with both Will and Gabor. If you don't know about Gabor or Will, get on my channel. Go watch some of those old videos from 2021, 2022. Shoot, which videos? Gabor might not be in the videos until like 2022, 2023. Will's been in the videos for a while. Shoot, because of Will, I am a mushroom guy. Will knew more about mushrooms than I did when I moved to PA. He taught me. Now I've since surpassed him. It's not for any fault of his, just because I went obsession. I went full-blown obsessed about the mushroom life. He's just a native Pennsylvanian living on a mountain who learned a little bit about his land and has been kind of a natural. He's a naturalist, I guess. He loves his nature. So he taught me enough to get me started. And then I was on my own after that. Hey, if you're just now tuning in, welcome to the Mr. Jiff channel. I decided to go live as I'm driving back to Lewisburg, PA. Help me stay awake, shoot some questions, comments, some topics. I'm talking mushrooms, we're talking music, we're talking nostalgia, we're talking all things mayhem. I got about another hour or so, but I've been pulling over every 15, 20 minutes just to check my comments for new things to talk about. So if you want to shout me a comment or leave me some feedback, I'd love to respond. I'll be pulling over maybe in the next 10 minutes, and we'll see where we go from there, what kind of new topics we're going to talk about. I'm also snacking, and those that know me know I love my C4 on ice. Got a little C4 strawberry watermelon ice on ice to keep me going through the night. And if you read the comments, I've answered all the comments. Go back, if you want to go back later and watch the live feed, I do answer all the comments in here. So far, this has been a decent road trip, though. Hey, did I mention, this is kind of a shameless plug again for my buddy Parker down in Pittsburgh. Fun guy. He is the world's, shall we say, the world's quintessential mushroom rapper. Or maybe Pennsylvania's favorite rock star mushroom hunter, but he is the world's foremost mushroom rapper. And I say world's because he's taking this thing global. As a matter of fact, tomorrow, and let me interject with this, go check out his YouTube channel, Fungi Flows. Fungi, it's Fungi, Flows, Flows. So tomorrow, he's going to be going live for a 36-hour rap freestyle marathon as he gets ready for his Guinness World Record attempt at a 48-hour freestyle next month. So I know he's stoked. Hopefully, I don't know if he knows this yet, but yeah, that's the game plan. All right. Still going live. We're over an hour and a half into this. Still going good. Still snacking. If you hop on and you haven't left a comment, you know I welcome you guys to jump on there and just give a shout out saying who you are, where you're from. I know you got better things you could be doing, like sleeping. But maybe you're just now tuning in from Australia, other side of the planet. Speaking of going global, I say, what's up to all my friends down under. Shoot, that would be one wild trip. Go mushroom hunting down under with Mr. Jeff. Actually, let me backpedal a couple steps here. World traveling and mushroom hunting is happening this year. Maybe not with me so much, but I know William Padilla Brown, not my brother from another mother, William, but Myco Symbiotics William Padilla Brown, MycoFest William Padilla Brown. He's going to be doing some world traveling and mushroom hunting and other types of events. And I believe the first destination is this October. Was it October? I think it was, which is kind of unfortunate for me because I got my event in October too. But he's going to Thailand. Mushroom hunting in Thailand. So that's going to be wild. I think he's taking folks with him too that are able to sign up and go. I'm not saying it's open to the full public, but all right. Hey, sorry. Board. If you're new to the channel, I ain't talking mushrooms. They're bullcrap with everybody that jumps on. If you're new, leave a name. Leave a question, a comment. I can't really get to the questions and comments because I'm actually driving back to Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, home of Bucknell University. Home of, well, where I got my start as Mr. Jeff. Got to go back and visit my brother from another mother, do some work tomorrow with him. But I thought I'd go live to help me stay awake and just talk mushrooms to anybody that wanted to jump on board. So we're doing it. Another one. Welcome aboard. Leave your name. Leave your name. Leave the state or country that you're from. I want to shout you out. And if you have a question or comment for Pennsylvania's favorite rockstar mushroom hunter, you know what to do. Leave me a comment. Questions. For the past hour, I've spent a good chunk of the past hour talking about cordyceps, the entomopathic fungi that infect insects and then kind of puppet master them to do their bidding. I have a whole video I did on it on my channel like last year. But I was exploring that again. I was talking about health benefits of cordycepin, which is sort of an, I don't want to say it's an analog, but it's definitely a similarly functioning molecule to adenosine, which is used in our bodies as a neurotransmitter and as a building block for adenosine triphosphate, which is energy for the mitochondria in our cells. I know that's a lot to take in, but that's what you get from me. You get the mushroom knowledge that you weren't expecting. So leave me your questions, your comments. I'm still snacking, sipping, and shooting the shiitake with you guys. We'll call this going live for the drive. I don't care who you are. Cheese curds? Yeah. All right. It's like every now and again, I see that somebody jumped on. I see that you jumped on. Don't run. Oh, and they're gone. Dang. I just imagine that it's like somebody from some foreign country that may not even speak English or something, and they see this guy on there and like, who's this guy? Next. Oh, I don't know. YouTube algorithm doing its thing. putting this in front of random people. I want to see if I can catch one of yous. If I look up at the phone and I see somebody's watching, right now, there, somebody's watching. I see you. Hi. Hey, it's Mr. Jeff. I'm over an hour and a half into this whole live feed. We've been talking mushrooms. If you stick around, you can leave a comment or a question, and I'd be glad to talk with you on here. I just can't read the comments while I'm driving. But I'll be pulling over about every 15, 20 minutes. I check the comments, go through, and it gives me something to talk about. So, and they're gone too. Look at that. I might have to make this a weekly thing, especially if I'm driving to Lewisburg every week to market. Maybe I go live every time. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. All right, chicken tender. There's somebody. I feel like it's a game. Every time I look up and I see somebody's watching me eat. If I get somebody to jump on here, leave me a comment. We can get into some mushroom talk. But it don't have to be mushroom talk. I've spent the vast majority of my life doing non-mushroom things. So I have plenty of things to talk about. It just so happens that I love talking about mushrooms. We spent plenty of time in this live talking about cordyceps, cordycepin. That's the zombie fungus found in the show The Last of Us, the game as well. I really think cordyceps is going to be kind of the buzzword of mushrooms this year. Not just because of the show, but because of its health benefits. So it's gonna popularize fungi in another level. Welcome aboard. I keep seeing people jump in and then they disappear, and I almost shed a tear. But it's just me and you now. Leave a name, leave a comment or question, mushroom related or non-mushroom related. I don't care. You're helping me stay awake as I got something to talk to as I drive back to Lewisburg, Pennsylvania this morning. If you're new to the channel, I encourage you to check out my videos. A lot of random mushroom videos over the past couple years. And I'm taking comments and questions from y'all so I can give you guys the entertainment, the education, yay, even the inspiration. This is Mr. Jeff. Welcome to this mushroom kingdom that I've created. We got crazy things coming 2024. Working at the farm, Abundance Farms. Going to be producing a hell of a ton of mushrooms. Selling them at markets. Selling them to chefs. Excuse me, got the hiccups. Oh. Pardon me. But yeah, growing and selling mushrooms. We're going to have foraging events. And as always, I think I've done 18 foraging events in the past 2 years. This year's events, once again, free. I'm not charging to have folks come out and go in the woods mushroom hunting with me. We keep these events free. Paid events, though, such as tutorials, how to grow mushrooms, or other types of events that I may have in the future, of course, we're going to have to charge for something. But for those that don't know, foraging it became a mainstay in my life out of necessity because I needed to eat. So I learned what I could and what I could not eat in the woods. What started as a necessity became an obsession. so much more than that. And he's much of a mushroom hunting season at the moment, being that it's the middle of winter. I still try to get out into the woods or get outside and just looking at lichen, looking at moss, looking at even mushrooms that are growing in the middle of winter. We've got our turkey tail that's popping up. We got birch polypore on occasion. We've got old bracket fungi that may be multiple years old that are still on trees too in the winter. So finding some of these fungi, it's therapy. There's something about going in the woods and doing that. It takes you back to that childlike state of wonder. So I still try to bring that even in the middle of winter, even if it's once a week. But come springtime, heck, I'm outside almost every day trying to get lost in the woods and in the mountains. I don't know what this year will look like, but I want to have some scheduled events, spring, summer, and fall, and have our concert big event in October. I'm going to pull over one more time. If I got no more comments, I know it's middle of the night, but if I got no more questions or comments and I pull over with nothing, I may end this live. I may just call it, just so I'm not just rambling to the camera by myself, because I really wanted to get the feedback from you guys of what to talk about. I can only spout for so long off my own brain. So come on, join me. Hey, there's another one. Probably don't know who the hell you're looking at right now. I'm Mr. Jeff. Welcome aboard. And you'll be gone in like 2 seconds, right? Oh, they're still here. Well, you're sticking around. I've been talking mushrooms for the past hour and 40 some minutes or whatever. Almost hour, 40 minutes. If you got any questions, comments, or ideas regarding mushrooms, fungi, foraging, growing mushrooms, festivals, I don't care. I'm talking it. But you're leaving me comments, giving me something to talk about. So this is interactive with a delay. It's turn-based interactive. You leave a comment, then I come back and I respond. But I can't respond to your comments until I read them, and I can't read comments until I pull over. So that's where we're at right now, guys. This is the Mr. Jeff channel. We're approaching 2 hours on this live feed as you help me stay awake as I drive back to Lewisburg, Pennsylvania. And I still got about an hour to go, and I don't know if I want to stay on live all this time. So get your questions or comments in before my next pullover. This will be our last chance. And then I'm going to call it. And subscribe to the channel. You know, I'm always welcoming new subscribers who are into all things fungi. That includes mushroom music, mushroom art, mushroom clothing. By the way, who's making mushroom hunting pants? Is there anybody that's making a pant that's geared for mushroom hunting? Maybe has mushroom print on it. Maybe has amadou fabric or like a patches on it made of amadou. I'd love to see some mushroom camo pants. If I gotta make them myself, then so be it. But first I gotta finish the mushroom barrels, the fogger, the grow room, and get mushrooms growing. I gotta make a bunch of money so I can get the stuff to make the pants. So it's a long ways out. We ain't having no mushroom pants for a while, guys. Someday. All right. Well, let me see here. We are at the 141 mark, I think. Yeah. So once I pull over, this next pullover, we'll call it. I can only listen to myself talk for so long. especially if I don't have any feedback or any dialogue. So, yeah. But it's been a great road trip so far. Thank you all those who have come on board just to even catch a glimpse of this ugly face of mine. I don't know where the next Sheets is. Carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more. So it goes with noise and confusion, just to get it beyond this illusion. I was soaring ever higher, but I flew too high. I hear the voices when I'm dreaming. I can hear them. Your song. Oh man, you know what I haven't done in a while, guys? I might have to do one this weekend. I've not done one of the world's worst covers in a minute. It's been a while. So I'll need to do one. I'll have to do a song this weekend, record it, put it on the YouTube channel, throw it in the folder with the rest of the world's worst covers. Quite possibly, I should say. Because I don't know. There's so many people out there. There might be worse ones. But for all I know, they're the worst ones I ever heard. So, yeah. I might have to make a new one. Dude, if you're still watching this long, we're almost 2 hours in, you're still watching, throw me a comment and give me a song suggestion or two that I can cover for my quite possibly the world's worst covers playlists. I'll take requests. Of course, I'll have to know the song, and if I don't know it, I'd have to learn it. But yeah, that would be interesting if you guys left me a comment about that. All right, I got an exit coming up here. Looks like I got our Sheets coming up here. I'm gonna pull over, take a rest at Sheets, little bathroom break, and then I'm gonna wrap up this live. But I do appreciate John from Virginia, man, helping me stay awake. Appreciate you, and maybe look forward to talking more mushrooms with you and others as we keep doing these lives in the future. All right, here comes my exit for Sheets. Here we go. Coming in hot. Once again, I can't read the comments that you guys leave while I drive, so I pull over, stop, and then I read them safely. And it's usually every 15 or 20 minutes. Just to be fair to you guys, I don't mind stopping. But now I need to stop because I gotta use the restroom. We're not quite at swimming teeth, but I'm definitely doing the dance in my seat. There we go. We're almost there. Oh shit, wrong lane. I need over. I need to go this way. There we go. Welcome to Sheets, baby. I think I just went in the wrong way. And I don't care. Yeah, what you said. Don't hackle me, blower motor. Alright. Alright, we're here. We are here. I'm back at Sheets, and I'm at Sheets in State College, PA now. And I'm going to call this, we're going to end this now so I can use the bathroom. But you know what to do. In reverse, subscribe to the channel. Or maybe I'll do this. Here we go. Subscribe to the Mr. Jeff channel and the Beat Up Truck Life. Appreciate all those that joined me for this. And until next time, guys, peace.